Hi, I'm Dr. Sabin Kapasi. I'm the Managing Director of NRF Consulting Private Limited and the Global Strategy Advisor to UN Disaster Assessment and Coordination. Today, India is developing as a powerhouse globally. One of the reasons that US has dominated the world for now more than 80 years has been because of the innovation and research that has taken place in the Northern American continent across 200 years. There has been massive levels of investments as well as institutional builds to promote and grow R&D and investments. Today, Asia sees the potential in research. Asia sees the potential in IP, and that is what we need to foster, not just for um, the entire vertical, be it defense all the way till biotechnology, but specifically in biotech, because today the world is going through another movement. We believe that we are in the age of information where AI is ruling the world and is going to be the next big thing. But we fail to realize how fast innovation is moving in the world of genomics, biotech, and medtech. And that is going to drastically not just change the way we live our lives, but our basic form and genetic structures to the way that does not just solve diseases but results in us accelerating our entire evolution. So, if we are looking at building leadership across not just Asia but globally in the upcoming scientific evolution that the world is going through, investing in biotechnology and global IP development across the fields of medicine is going to be crucial to result in that journey. In 2019, US spent nearly $600 billion on research and development in biotechnology. China spent nearly $500 billion. And India, in comparison across government and non government areas, has spent lesser than $60 billion. But as we go ahead, and of course, there are other countries, but together, the spend of the rest of the world is just about $250 billion. So now we need to understand one very crucial thing. Value of money is different across different geographies, but investment both in resource, infrastructure, that is labs, builds, and scientific education, as well as patenting structures and patent commercialization is going to be crucial for us to take the leadership in this field as we are in several other areas across the industries. Now, as we are starting the new year, uh, the government as well as industry recognize the importance of the intellectual property that already exists in the country, as well as the one that we can build on, not just on the existing structures, but the new investments coming in. Which is why I believe that NRF, the National Research Foundation, as being constituted in the December 2023 bill, is extremely important. It is a 50,000 crore initiative by the government, where government contributes around 28% of the budget for research and development, while the private sector contributes 72% of it. And this is a structure for investments and structured IP formation and commercialization for both industry and scientific growth purposes across verticals, including lab formations, education, as well as foreign investment coming seamlessly into Indian IP and benefiting both through royalties as well as through ownership within industry, but the IP still being centered within the Indian subcontinent. And I believe this is a groundbreaking initiative by the government, and the structure of it is going to radically change the way India's leadership across all industries, especially across global biotech industry, is going to play out in the next 20 years. India has waited a little too long, though, for recognizing the value of our own IP. Today, we have lost a couple of things. We all know about the fight for turmeric and neem, that we lost a few and we won a few on a global level. But there is a lot of IP that exists and needs to be proven for outcome in the country. So, this is a fight that we have started late, which is why we need to start into this process with much more vigor than I believe we are looking at from an industry perspective. Along with that, we also need to recognize that the current systems in research and CDOs are not as well uh, matured, and the technology is slightly antiquated. So there needs to be structural investments in upgrading it first before we go into a complete investment in the R&D processes. So I believe the first step in upgrading the technology from where it is right now, which is almost dated by 20 years, to today's hyper accurate technologies, is going to be crucial and one of the larger challenges that NRF is going to face and should be structurally inbuilt within its implementation. As we enter into this era of intellectual property development with renewed vigor, we need to understand where to put our focuses on. We have to understand that today, in terms of biology and biological research, there is a lot of inherent technology coming up, but a lot of it, which is being focused on by the US and European Union, is towards therapeutics, which is solving diseases. But if you look at basic data sets like cancer research data sets, you understand that the key to solving public health, both for cost as well as for better health outcomes, is not therapeutics but is early diagnostics. And early diagnosis is something where, if you look at the comparison of the resource split in healthcare systems, only about 15% of the research is focused towards. This is where India can actually get a massive edge, not just within the country and within the Indian subcontinent, but globally, where we can lead healthcare for the generation to come by researching and developing technology for earliest diagnosis of acute as well as non-communicable diseases, and change population health through financial structures like it has never been done before, especially for the global south where majority of the population lie. The way forward for India is not just staying within the lines or painting within the lines, but it's about merging several areas of industry, merging finance, merging insurance, merging health technology and diagnostics with our well structured traditional knowledge, and creating systems which are in both into early diagnosis and completely cost effective non-invasive care structures, and build them out using the knowledge as well as learning from the mistakes of other healthcare systems built around US, UK and rest of the world, and developing systems which are all inclusive across all verticals.